welcome to the More Than Roommates podcast. I'm Dan, here with my roommate Graham. Graham, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Feeling good.
Yeah, we just attended a Juneteenth block party.
Yeah, block party.
How
was fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. We got a mangonada, chili mangonada popsicle. It was bussin' off the rails.
Hispanic, flavor.
Yeah, so... Pepper's moving around. She's scratching herself. We just celebrated Pride. We went to the KC Pride Parade. And so I am mistaken. Last episode or 2 episodes ago, I said last year was our first Pride. That was not our first Pride. You brought that up. That was we did a Pride bar crawl.
Right.
But this was the first Pride event that I actually
with like the parade and everything.
Yeah.
She's scratching for water or something, or food.
Scratching for food. Oh my gosh. Pause. Okay.
We're back.
We thought we had her all taken care of, but I guess she needed some food.
But I might hear some munching here in a minute. So, she took one. She's looking at me like, why are you interrupting my dinner?
But yes, we went to the Kansas City Pride Parade, and I must say, it was a blast.
Yeah, we had the best view of that parade though.
Yeah, we ended up meeting up with my old actual roommate, no innuendo there, but he was downtown, and I was like, oh, you've got a good spot of the parade, can we come and join you up there? And so we hung out with him and his fiance and just kind of watched the parade.
They brought us some mimosas out. We had a good time
for sure, and saw a lot of Star Wars people in the parade. I don't know when Star Wars became Pride characters, but a lot of Darth Vaders out there.
Yeah, we saw quite a few different characters.
Do you know why that is?
I don't know. People have their own hobbies and stuff they like outside of,
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen
But yeah, you mean like representing that group?
Yeah, I just don't know when that happened. But I mean, I've seen a lot with like the rainbow of lightsabers in artwork and stuff, so I didn't know if that was tied into it.
Yeah.
But what would you say was your favorite part of Pride?
Ooh, probably the Taco Bell cantina.
Yes.
They were having a drag show in a Taco Bell cantina.
Yes.
Where you can order an alcoholic Baja Blast.
Which is...
Or whatever. I mean,
they can add alcohol. So yeah, it's a Taco Bell that serves alcohol. It was quite legendary.
Yeah, it was.
I would say it was pretty cool. We actually held hands in public.
Yeah.
That was a big step for us. I had not done that. Yeah, I know.
For the listeners, we're doing a quick little grip.
Yeah, that's as PG as we're getting here. Yeah. But
that was cool. It was just like, come on, like today's like
the day to do it.
Yeah. No fear.
Exactly. Yeah, it was very cool.
Not that I fear it necessarily, but you gotta be a little paranoid.
Yeah. Definitely. Every time you do it, you're like, okay, who's around? Who's watching? Yeah.
But it's a lot of mental gymnastics for sure.
Yeah. But it felt very safe there, and it was kind of nerve-wracking. The area that we were in the week prior, or just a few days prior, someone had used an airsoft gun and shot at the bar near where we were at. So it was definitely, you always keep that in your back of your head. So that's why I was very glad we found like our roommate's apartment.
Area.
Yeah. So, but all in all, really fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of like other things. I mean, it was a lot of just hanging out and talking for the most part.
Yeah, meeting a lot of people and stuff.
Yeah, we met quite a few people. It was fun to kind of get out there in the community and, meet some local people that are, of the same mindset.
Yeah,
mostly.
It's just crazy how mainstream it's becoming, and that's just so awesome. So I just hope every year it just grows and grows and just becomes a more normal thing. Or do you want to come and join us? You haven't been with us on an episode in a long time.
Yeah, the viewers miss you, girl. Come on up.
She's like, you guys have not been paying my updated fee. My star power is growing. I deserve a new contract. You want to join us, Pepper? Come on up.
Come on, little girl.
Oh,
Oh,
nope.
no.
She said,
Oh, you gonna come up here? Here, I'll move my phone.
Okay.
Good girl.
So the
Probably out of frame,
other
but-
topic that we wanted to talk about today, so this is kind of like a follow-up conversation to one of our first episodes, was our thoughts on if we wanted kids or not. Now let's go. I want to talk about our thoughts on gay marriage. Do you think it should be allowed? No, I'm kidding. No, no. Just more of our thoughts on what we would want in a wedding. So first, what do you think? Do we want to get married? What is our thoughts on that?
I mean, absolutely. You know, our lives are very much aligned. Like, that's been our plan.
Yeah.
For sure. But the kind of wedding is really the question.
That's
like,
kind of where we go back and forth. So Graham and I, we've talked, and we do know we eventually want to get married. I don't think we're rushing into it as fast as we rushed into moving in together. But,
yeah,
you know, because I also see like our lives are very intertwined. I trust you. I don't feel the need to want to get married right this moment.
yeah.
So, because what I know what would happen with us is we are procrastinators. And at this point, if we got engaged, it would be like a 7-year engagement. That I would.
Does it even matter?
I guess it
though?
doesn't
Like,
matter. I know.
It's like anything goes. Uh-oh. The pooch. Oh, there are ducks in the front yard.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
she's on bork patrol.
There are.
Sorry, y'all. We've got some ducks in the yard. If
Okay.
you didn't just hear me.
No more pepper interruptions. This is serious business.
Until she barks.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's rewind the convo.
Yeah, but we want to get married. We just don't know how we want to do it. So we are both very introverted people. Okay,
I
maybe
think
not.
I would say we're probably like extroverted introverts.
What
that
does
make
that
sense?
mean?
Like, you're probably more comfortable like hanging out, you know, at home, you know, not necessarily being like the center of attention or
Correct.
trying to like corral a crowd, or
Yeah,
I
let
don't
me
know.
just say I can
Yeah.
turn it on.
But yeah,
I
exactly. That's exactly
know
what it means.
the time and place, but
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean that is it does take a lot out of me to do that.
Exactly.
I don't mind
yeah.
being like lively at an event, but yeah, I have to be in the
Yeah.
mood for it for sure.
I think, like, to me, when I think introvert versus extrovert, it's how much energy do you have to spend when you're in those situations, for
Right.
sure. And like, some people have zero energy, like the true introvert, and then I think there are people like us that, you know, like, we get around people we know, we get amped up, you know, we've got higher energy, but then you like crash, you know. At least
Yeah.
I crash for the most part.
Yeah.
But speaking of going back to Pride,
Okay.
we were awake like from 6:30 in the morning until what time did we get home? Like midnight
11:30
or 11:30, and it was just a full long day, no nap.
Yeah, definitely a full day of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't feel too exhausted though.
No,
the
because I
next
think the
day,
adrenaline was. Oh yeah, the next day we were
but-
fine.
Yeah,
But
got to
for
sleep in a
the
little.
wedding, this is kind of something we go back and forth about. Is like, what kind of wedding do we want? Do we want just a ceremony between us two? Do we want a traditional wedding? But that's something we've also been noticing is, you know, like how like there's no rule book or guidebook that's like, oh, here's your gay format for your wedding. Like, you know, do you do bridesmaids or
Right.
groomsmen, or like how there is no bride, so who
Yeah.
walks down the aisle? And that's something we've been kind of going back and forth about, is like weddings are so heteronormative.
They are.
Like there's almost like for us to do the wedding, I know have been gay ceremonies and stuff. Neither of us have ever been to one, so it's just stuff that we've seen on TV. But I feel like it's something that we would have to like throw out the book and start fresh.
Yeah, for sure. I think the sky's kind of the limit in our situation. Like, I think we should just do whatever we feel comfortable with, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always go back to the finance brain at times too. Like, how much are weddings? Like, should we ask like what the average cost is? What do you think it is? And put it in the comments below.
yeah.
What do you think the
I
average
think
cost of a
the
wedding
average
is?
cost of a wedding is between 30 and 40,000.
That's I would
Google
say
it. You've got the phone.
okay. True. Oh, it's actually not in my
But
pocket.
yeah, that is something. I know it's like, okay, I would rather spend the money on a big trip, like a honeymoon or something, because it
Right.
just seems like you're
Memorable,
spending
right?
all this money to impress people. I don't know. Because I mean, I've been to a lot of weddings and they're a blast and it's so ceremonious and it's so cool. But it's also like, wow, this is a lot of money spent in one night. Whereas, I don't know. But on the other hand, I do think it could be impactful, especially in our community, to have a gay ceremony because, as I said, I've never been to one. You've never been to one. I'm sure most of the people that we would invite have never been to one. So that would just be crazy to be able to kind of lead the way around here.
For
So what'd you
sure.
find?
I'm finding it's kind of all over the place.
Can
I'm
you
going to
just
type
type in
2023.
average? Yeah, do average cost of a wedding in
Okay.
2023.
If I put 2023, it says around, you ready for it? 29,000.
Yeah.
Come on down. Sheesh.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. That's just. And the amount, I don't know. It's just for what? A few, like 6 hours? Or, I mean, I guess you would probably get a full day by the time, like,
Just
you
seems
do
like
the pre-wedding activity, pictures.
yeah, it's definitely
But
for us. It would be an all-day event.
wouldn't it be like, to me, it just, and I think we, in our normal time, like downtime, we definitely like to minimize the amount of stress we have. At
For
least,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's something like kind of our life philosophy is that we don't want to cause each other any more stress in our life. I want our time together to be
just
fun.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
Why do you, exactly.
And so why throw a wrench in that and get us all worked up?
And it just even the really nice weddings I've been to, gorgeous, perfect, you just see like the groom and the bride, or groom or bride and bride, whatever, running around
the entire time.
They're running around the whole time. Like you can tell, like there has to be a level of stress. Like
oh, for sure.
And you got to try to get around to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just like everyone wants to talk to you, but
yeah. And the other thing that I battle with is having our families from two different areas. And it would kill me if some of the important family members that I wanted to be there couldn't go. And I know there's some people that I know wouldn't be able to make the trip, that it would be horrible. So it's like, gosh, I don't want to put that pressure to make them feel bad that they don't attend. So I don't know. It is just, it would be so cool though to just have all these people from all your walks of life. But that's the other thing too, is getting into like groomsmen and stuff. Like I would never want to hurt someone's feelings or cut people out that feel that they would be a groom's person, part of the wedding party.
Right.
So I don't know. It just seems
it's and maybe this is just a little bit like age wise, but it is interesting how you go through like phases of life and like really close friendships, and ones you think will never change or last forever, and then you just get busy with your career and stuff. And I think a lot of it, like I don't know like everyone that I would ask either,
for sure. Well, and I know definitely from my perspective of I've changed careers, I've moved to new cities, and like a lot of times in the past 5 years of my life. And so even the people, like there were people that I thought would be my groomsmen this time around last year are not even on the list, so it's like that changes. So it's just I feel like we're in a transitional period of our lives, and
again it goes right back to, do we have to do it that way though?
Right.
But I mean, because then it's also a cost burden for them. Then they got to go spend money, on like a tux or a dress or whatever. And then it's just, more, I don't know.
I know. So if you had to, like, if someone like was like, what are you going to do today? Where are you leaning? What is more?
I think I would like to have like a private ceremony that's just maybe you and me and like a really close family, and then have a big party. You know what I mean? Like just something like have like some food,
Like reserve a space, get dressed up.
Not have to spend like a ton of money, you know.
Yeah, and they don't have to sit through all these things that it's just for us. And then I think it would be fun to have everyone celebrate that. But yeah, the planner in me, I'm like, oh, we could do this and this.
I know,
but it would be super fun.
Right, I know. You could go either way, but as of now, that's how
that's kind of how I feel more
like,
too.
I still want a ceremony. Like, I wouldn't just probably want to walk down to like the courthouse or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not that there's anything wrong with that. I know people that have had successful marriages from that, you know.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I want it to be like, it would be a little more intimate, maybe, if it's you and me and like a few close family members, and then have a big old party, you know,
for sure.
People we want to have, you know.
Yeah. No, I definitely
but
think that
do you think would it offend people if we, you know what I mean?
And that's where it gets messy, because it's like it's not for anyone.
I know. It would be for us, you know, and people get hard to talk that through to people. Like, it's not about you. It's about us.
Exactly.
And what we want, you know.
Yeah.
But still,
my brother did have an interesting point, because I was spitballing this topic idea with him, and he's had a wedding with his wife, and he was like, they saw it as a good opportunity to see. It's like not like a test of your relationship, but it's your first big
like expenditure planning.
Yeah, it's like you guys really have to work together for this big thing. It's a high stress. You're spending a lot of money. You're having to compromise a lot, and so it's your first big almost hurdle to overcome together. I thought that was interesting, but even he was like, well, you guys are like, we've lived together for so long, and we've already done financial things together. So
major projects.
Yeah. So we've worked through that. We know we've
built stuff from like Wayfair or IKEA or whatever together. Yeah. So,
but also we are doing the basement project, and you know, we're having to compromise on things, and I may want something some way, and you may want it the other, but we've been able to work through that. And I think that's just you know, I think if we did have to have a wedding, I think we would equally be in it, and we would be equally involved. I don't know. It would just be a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
My question is out there, people watching, have you ever been to a gay wedding? I'm curious, how did it go? What were some things you were surprised by? How did they do it? Who walked down the aisle? I'm just so curious. And I know there are resources out there, but I don't know. There's been a lot of instances where people ask me how certain things will happen, and I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't given here, you're gay, here's how this is, because it's just uncharted territory for a lot of people. And I think that is, again, part of this podcast, is to like let people know what it's like trying
to weigh these decisions and think about every facet of your relationship and our lives.
You know? And how people view your relationship and stuff. You know, I've seen TikToks by people when they have maintenance workers or people coming in their house, they take down all of their pictures of their relationship together. And we've done that. And it's just, people I don't think would understand that concept. They would never even cross their mind. But we are very aware of who's in our house and how we want to portray ourselves. You know, it's just something that I don't think people would think twice about in their normal relationships.
No, not at all. And that's privilege. That's like a privilege we don't have, you know?
Yeah.
Not to say I'm not privileged, because I know I am.
Yes, we both
in a lot of
have
ways,
privileges, and even the day we live in has privileges, but it is something that we are conscious of, and we have to be aware of, because you don't want someone in your house and being like, oh, this is what's going on, let me just do something,
let me just
dork with their stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm worried they're gonna come in and stab me. It's just more like, I don't want them to mess with my stuff.
You never know. But there's just a lot to it, man. I don't know. I think we'll know, you know, when the time is right. I think once everything, you know, kind of settles down a little bit,
but will it ever?
I think eventually, you know, when we get to our destination, I think we'll have things a little more clarity at that point in terms of, okay, now we're settled where we're planning to stay for, you know what I mean, however long. I would
Yeah.
assume, like, maybe not permanently, but for a long time,
Yeah, for
hopefully.
sure.
Because right now, I know it just stinks. Like, I love this place and my hometown, you know, and everything, but I just know that inevitably it, like, is going to come to an end, you know? So I feel like I'm on borrowed time, maybe. Like, I know, like, my world is about to be turned upside down to some extent with my whole work, you know, moving and whatnot. And I think I'll feel a little more settled, I guess, so to speak, you know. But
Yeah, but as someone who has moved a lot, I wouldn't put off anything. Like, I remember, the first year or two of me staying here, never really fully moving in because we didn't know what the future was going to hold. And, it took a while. And I don't know, sometimes you just got to like embrace the now. And I'm trying to do that more, especially with all
that's
this
fair.
talk about
Yeah.
the upcoming recession and all these financial turmoil that could be around the corner. But I get to an extent, but as someone who has been like, okay, well, I'm only going to be in this college town for 4 years. Okay, now I'm only going to move here to work out this contract, and then I'm going to move to a new city and start. It's like you never know what could happen in even a 6-month span. So
just totally different backgrounds, you know, that we've got for sure. You know, I took I guess you would say, more classic route, you know, safer maybe to a sense, you know, find a big boy job in my hometown and stay close to family, you know, buy a house. Like,
yeah, my whole plan was to go to a new city where no one knew me in the hopes of being able to eventually come out. And when I met Graham, my contract was ending at work, and I was in the process. I was interviewing with companies like all over the country, just like getting ready to up and leave. And then that was like, Graham was like, "Oh, do you want to go out?" And I'm like, well, I do, but
it might have to be in Portland.
Yeah, exactly.
Or wherever.
Yeah. So we just kind of talked through that, and then the pandemic happened, the panini, and I decided it might be
calling it a panini from now on.
Yeah, the panini.
Panini hit.
It made me want to stick around because I just wanted to have a job and didn't want to be moving when all that was going on. So
yeah, when you couldn't go out and meet anyone either.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be going to an unfamiliar place, still being like potentially, you know, locked down.
Yeah, I had just met this really cute guy. I was like, let me see where this is going.
Yeah.
Think about it, if it didn't work out. Oh, that would have been awkward. No.
I remember, we were talking on, I don't know how many dates we had been on yet. Was it when I asked you out?
That I told you? Yeah. Yeah, because...
And I remember you were, like, really upset, you know?
Because it had been weighing on me, but I didn't want to be like... Because we had only gone on a few dates. We knew it was going well, but I didn't want to be like, by the way, I'm looking to move, because I didn't want it to impact one way or another what was going on. So then when you asked me if you wanted to be boyfriends, I was like, okay, I need to tell you so you can... Because I was like, we can make... If you want to do long distance, that works. If you don't, no hard feelings. I'll be crushed, but things
I've done it before. Yeah. I was open to it, if you remember.
Yeah, you did. Sure. You were right away. You're like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, oh, sweet.
I didn't want to, you know, stop your dreams from becoming a reality either, you know, like, just for a relationship, you know, because it's a big thing, you know, and that requires a lot of, you know, weighing your pros and cons and, you know, really thinking, you know, what's important. And I didn't want to add like another layer of stress on that for you.
Right. Like, exactly. Remember, no stressing each other out.
Exactly.
So it's a
good way to live by.
I pursued some job opportunities and I weighed them. Since I was in news, none of them were going to pay anything. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I stop struggling?
And I said, yes.
Yeah.
Cha-ching in the bag.
Yeah.
Daniel in the bag.
Exactly. So I stuck around and look at us now.
Yeah.
The hosts of More Than Roommates.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was another thing we were kind of just randomly talking about the other night. Like, just how connected we felt immediately. and like we felt like we had known each other for a really long time after a short amount of time. But now it's been 3 years, and we have like over 3 years worth of memories
and that's felt like it's flown by.
I know,
but I remember
crazy.
I was telling my friend after our second date, I was like, "You're the man that I'm gonna marry." Like I could tell instantly, and I remember telling her that. So it was very cool.
Did you ever watch the movie 50 First Dates?
Is that Adam Sandler?
Yeah, and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I have.
You
seen
remember
that.
when they very first meet? Like for the first time at like kind of the beginning of the movie, like it goes really well, like their first encounter, and they're both like dancing behind like the coconut truck or whatever, and then it drives off, and then they see each other and they're like, well, that was awkward. And then then you know how the rest of the movie goes. So I'm not gonna ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen that 20-year-old Jim,
right?
But
we definitely hit it off.
That was how I felt after like our first date. Really,
it was
just refreshing to meet someone that similar goals, similar wants, and really
outlook on
just
life.
Outlook and background. Sure, we're different. We're obviously not like the exact same person, but very well aligned.
Oh, for sure. And just same morals and goals in life. And I think that's big. That's like the signs of an adult relationship. Like, we just had the same dreams of ruling the world. No. Okay, well, I think that should do it. So
any parting thoughts from you? Or
I don't think so.
I think we just keep on rolling on. And we'll just talk it through day after day, and we'll figure out what we want to do.
But please,
y'all will know. But
let us know what you've seen or heard of people doing for gay weddings. Your thoughts on that. Also, do you want to have a big wedding? Do you want a destination? I want to hear your guys' wedding thoughts. So let us know down below. You guys have a good rest of your week, and we will see you next time.